Our speaker today is the Reverend Patricia Price. Reverend Patricia Price is an ordained spiritualist minister, a certified healer and medium. She has been part of the Lilydale community for 46 years and a resident for 36 years. Patricia has served the community in many ways, including starting out as a healer in the Summer Healing Temple, youth group director, Lyceum teacher, committee member of many committees for the community's benefit. She is past president of the Lilydale Spiritualist Church and past president of the Church of the Living Spirit. She has a master's degree from SUNY at Fredonia. Patricia is an international lecturer and teacher. She has taught in the U.S., Canada, Egypt, Greece, Ireland, England, and Peru. Quite the world travel. Patricia has recently founded the City of Light Spiritualist Church and is director of the Trilogy Institute, where she teaches mediumship, spiritual healing, and ministerial training. She has developed home study courses and in-person classes to empower individuals by using universal natural law. Patricia spends the winter months in California, where she writes, teaches, does readings, and healing work. She has books, CDs, and other study courses for sale on the internet and in the Lilydale bookstore. During the Lilydale season, you can find her in the Healing Temple every Thursday night for a home circle development class, and after the season, she still holds home circles near Buffalo Street home. And Patricia is one of the first people I really got to know in Lilydale, and it's hard to believe that it's all those years ago. To raise the vibrations for our speaker today, if you would stand and turn to hymn number 44 and sing Higher Ground.
Go away.
now present our speaker, Reverend Patricia Price.
Thank you, Bernie. And what a wonderful platform. Always a pleasure to serve with you, Bernie.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
What a magnificent day. And it's always a magnificent day, right? I remember the story I heard when I was first in Lilydale of a man that had passed before I came here that walked to the post office every day. And people would say along the way, "How are you today?" Don't we always hear that? And he would just perk up. I guess he had a cane. I don't know, maybe you remember him. But anyway, he used to say, "I'm healthy, happy, and prospering," of course, because I'm a spiritualist. Doesn't that make sense? Because when I first came here, someone said, "We teach universal natural law." And I was impressed. I was a college student studying science, and to think there was a science beyond Newton, beyond the new atomic science, a science that had been studied throughout time by human beings, natural law, universal law. Well, you know, there wasn't much convincing after I got past my first visit to Lilydale to come again. Even though my family, at Thanksgiving one time, somebody said the word Lilydale, and my aunts in unison said, "Mother said it was the work of the devil over there." My grandmother, who I never met. But she was a rabble rouser, that grandmother, and she comes through from spirit, even though she was passed before I was born. She comes through with some marvelous innovations, and she was a free thinker, but hadn't been introduced to spiritualism the way that I had, so she did other things. But anyway, isn't it delightful? You know, my bio is 4 years old, so I got to change that bio. We've been here 50 years. You know, this is the year, 2019.
Yes,
it was 69 when we met each other, and soon Karen came along, and many of you have come through the years, and it's marvelous to watch people come into Lilydale and be attracted to this. You know, when I was in California, I was close to the big city, and I went to a church. Well, I went to several churches, but I always went to churches that had the same philosophy we have. The philosophy that we are divine. We are from the divine. We are from the source. We are part of that divine. And all the other principles that we have. But, you know, I would drive to these wonderful churches that taught that and taught natural law and spoke the positive. And I would see these parking lots full of people dressed up with their children going into these other churches. And you know, I knew what they were teaching there because I knew some of the people that went there. They were teaching that we were sinners, that there was no hope sometimes for people. And I felt really bad because I thought, you know, they could be coming to these kinds of churches like ours where we're told that the truth, that we're divine. Nobody's trying to bamboozle us into power and take our money for things that are silly, but to tell us that we're divine and that natural law works. So today I'm going to talk about the new era of the sacred child. You know, I'm sorry there's no children here today.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Oh, you're a child at heart. That's right. I forgot. And you know, we can proclaim that, can't we? We are all children at heart. And it is the child within us that guides us and leads us. And you know, when I do readings, Spirit always says, your children are your teachers. You know, we think, well, we do have a responsibility, don't we? A sacred responsibility when children are small. And again, my guides say you have two responsibilities to those children, or